But what's going on, everybody? If you want to get paid to speak, then you need to be looking at this video. This video is going to give you a very brief rundown of how I've been able to be paid over $1 million speaking primarily at colleges. And I'm actually going to start there. So, if you want to get paid to speak, you have to understand who actually pays speakers. I remember it was, no, it wasn't about, it was 16 years ago. May 12th, 2007, I graduated from college, graduated from undergrad. My public speaking professor, Dr. Darrell Pond, he came up to me afterwards. He said, "What are you going to do with your life?" Just like you're asking a lot of the graduates that just graduated or the ones that are about to graduate, what are you going to do with your life? And I said that I didn't know. And he said to me, "You should consider being a professional speaker." And I remember where I was standing outside of the arena when he said that. And I thought to myself, how? I don't understand. How can I be a professional speaker? I don't get it. What do you mean? Don't you have to be famous? Don't you have to be somebody that overcame something, a lost limb, or you're an Olympian, or you founded a tech company when you were 12 or something to that nature? And he said, no, you just have to have a message and you have to have an audience that's willing to pay for that message. And so I'll start this teaching by telling you that's all you need to get paid to speak. You need a message and you need an audience that's willing to pay for that message. How do you identify an audience that's actually willing to pay? I came up in the college market. Colleges pay. And just to give you an overview of what you go through when you're trying to figure out who your audience is, think about what people are doing, where they're transitioning and where they're going, but also what institutions want to keep them where they are. Most of you will miss that. Some of you will run it back and you'll understand it. But think about institutions, financial institutions, banks, credit unions, corporations, educational institutions, colleges, high schools, private high schools, different groups. Then you've got the institution of the government, big brother or sister or what have you, the government, religious institutions. I'm pointing out institutions not to have you go down a rabbit hole on YouTube or anything, but I want you to think about institutions influence intuition. I'm going to say that again. Institutions influence intuition. Institutions also impact income. So for colleges, we'll use colleges as an example because I speak to colleges all the time. Colleges, they are in the business of selling education. So their biggest clientele are students or people that love and care about students. So if I have a message that can help students, if I have a message that can echo some of the points that the institution wants to get across to the students, then I have money. Understand that. And then use that across any arena that you want to talk to. So match the message and the audience. Then after you do that, here's where it gets really interesting, because a lot of people think that their story, or they think that the obstacles that they came over or overcame, or they think that their talent, I'm really good, nobody's going to fall asleep on me. They think that's the thing that gets you hired. It's not. I'm going to give you this. There's no such thing as the speaking business. There's the event business. And they hire speakers as vendors. I'm going to repeat that one more time, then I'm going to go to the next point. There's no such thing as the speaking business. There's the event business, and they hire speakers as vendors. And when you think about it that way, it'll go into the next point. You have to get really, really, really good at delivering that message, at delivering that story, at delivering that thing that you want the audience to receive, that you want the client to pay you for. You have to get really good. This takes time. This is the easy button that people think that, oh, once I have a signature story, once I have my bullet points, once I have my objectives, yes, now absolutely I'm gonna. No, you have to think of your speaking as a performance. So if you want to get casted in a movie, what do you do? Think about it. What do you do? I want to get casted in the next great movie that Universal has. It doesn't matter how amazing you are. If you don't match timing with connections, you're not going to get hired. You could be the most amazing presenter that anybody has ever seen. But if you don't match timing with the talent and the connections, it doesn't matter. So get good, get really, really good, get talented, but understand this: you'll always be better 5 years from now if you continue than you will now. I'll say it in this vernacular. Maybe some of you can understand a little better if you like hip hop. One of the greatest lyricists of all time, Andre Benjamin, 3000, 3 stacks. He said, "You're only funky as your last cut." You're only funky as your last cut. What does that have to do with speaking? You're always going to get better. You're going to get better. Me at 38, I'm better than I was at 28. At 48, I'll be better than I am today at 38. That's just how it happens. So don't get caught up in the talent. Focus on the connections and the timing, which leads me to this next point. You have to meet people and get to know people that hire speakers. It boggles my mind because I used to think like this. And so I'm not telling you this trying to get on you or say you should know this, because I didn't know this. I spoke for years and didn't put these two things together. 100% of events that include speakers are planned by humans. That sounds like an oversimplification. It sounds like I'm trying to be smart or coy. I'm not. 100% of the events that include speakers, that hire speakers, that bring speakers in, they're planned by humans. So if they're planned by humans, wouldn't it make sense for us to find the humans that plan the events? Going back to the acting analogy, we think if we get good, if I can cry on demand, if I can cry on demand, I'll get somebody to bring me in for the latest movie. If you don't know where the auditions are being held, if you don't know who the director is, if you don't know who the producer is, heck, if you don't have an agent that knows all that stuff, you're just going to be at home with the wish. Same thing with speaking. You could have the most amazing story in the world, but if you don't know who hires speakers, you don't know how to get in front of them, you don't know how to get warm introductions to them, maybe you'll randomly get picked up, maybe for a $500 chicken dinner at the church or something, but you won't get any consistent business. And I'll give you this directive: find people that hire speakers, that plan events, that use speakers, befriend them. How many should I befriend, Odell? Befriend 100. Does that sound like a lot? That's a small number. Befriend 100 people that pay speakers. If you do that, I guarantee you'll get hired if you have a message that matches their audience, and if you're good at delivering that thing. So that's the bare bones. Notice I didn't say you need this type of website. Notice I didn't say that you need this or you need that. Those are all the things that you need. Here's the challenge. So a lot of times people say, well, it's really easy to do this. It's easy to do, but it's also very easy and convenient not to do it. Because when I say befriend 100 people, think about the people that you are actually friends with right now. You can go in your phone, look in your phone right now, and the people that you consider friends, count how many of them there are. Most people can't count 100 people. Legitimately, you can't count 100 people. You could maybe pull up your yearbook and say, I'm cool with that person. I'm friendly with that person. Yeah, that me and that person, we hung out. But how many friends can you pick? So when I say befriend 100, that's a tall task. How about this? How about get friendly with 10? 10 people that hire speakers, get friendly with 10. If you get friendly with 10, then hopefully out of that 10, you can get hired, you can get connected, or you can get referred to some other people. Notice that. If this that I talked about, if it sounded interesting to you, you said, man, this sounds really good, I would like to explore more. I'm doing a web class this Thursday. Well, today is Thursday as I'm recording this. If you're watching this as a recording, then you could probably look at the link below this video and sign up for our next web class. But I'm going to be talking about three secrets that allow me to make over $1 million in the college market specifically. But I'm also going to be sharing 9 case studies of my clients that help them make over $706,000 in speaking fees in 12 months. If you're interested in that, make sure you click the link below this video. If you happen to be watching this and the video is gone or the web class is no longer, you can just stay connected with me. I'm here at odellspeaks.com for my personal website, but you can also go to my website, publicspeakingprofits.com. And hey, I can't wait to see you at the top, not from the top. Take care.